Welcome to Our English. I am Priscilla Ramcharan here in the United States. Happy New Year 2022. I have my first guest of the new year, and I'm so excited to introduce you to a colleague of mine who is also an internet guru and does magic online. So thank you and welcome. Introduce yourself and where you're from.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year to you guys as well. My name is Dominic Wilson, and I'm from the beautiful island of Trinidad and Tobago.
Wonderful. So tell us about your company.
All right, so I am the managing director of eCardemy Professional Development Courses. And what eCardemy does is that we help you create your online e-learning courses. So let's say you have an idea or you're already a teacher or you actually have a course and you need some help, just to spruce it up, get it interactive, get it online, get it working, get it operational. That's where we come in and we give you ideas. We actually can host your course for you as well, or we can create a what you call a standalone course, and you can offer it on flash drives, CDs, DVDs, you name it. So that's basically what we do. We help you create your e-learning courses.
Wow, that's amazing. The flash drive and USB part is new to me.
Yes, yes, yes. So as we go along, we try different mediums to see, what makes sense for persons, because there are some persons, who may not have access to the internet, readily available access to internet. So, they need to have it as an offline module or offline mode, and
Mhm.
that helps them.
Oh, that's wonderful. So tell me, what was your inspiration?
Uh, I think this might be cliche, but our inspiration, it started a little before the COVID period, which is 2020. And I must say, during the pandemic, that kind of, propelled us to create this company and to start it in such a professional way, because we were doing it before, but we were doing it in individual, for want of a better word, silos. We were doing it, you know, on one-off occasions for little businesses and whatnot. And the inspiration really came because I'm into IT. I've always been into IT. And since 2012, if I can remember correctly, I remember I was working at a ministry and I came across a DVD and it had like all the laws and stuff on it. And I was like, wow, okay. We are accustomed seeing like law books, actual physical books. And look, they uploaded it into DVD format and it wasn't just PDF. So imagine that. They actually had e-learning for quite some time in Trinidad and Tobago. I know it has been out there in the United States and the other countries there way before that. But in Trinidad, they actually had that here and they didn't even know like that was e-learning. And
Mm.
then fast forward to that, I remember doing a defensive driving course and everything was online. And people not really understanding, like, hey, this is e-learning that is actually coming into play. So we have always been in that realm, in that sphere of business in terms of learning.
Mhm.
It has not been at how to put it, the primary mode of learning, but it has been there before. So my motivation really came from that because I wanted to see, how I could better that, how I could push that more and more and more. Um, the traditional way of teaching, it's great, it's perfect, it has helped a lot. But as we come into the new age and the age of technology, and everybody's on their phones and tablets, and about 75% or more of young persons, their times are being taken up on electronic devices, because when you look at within 1 minute or 2 minutes, you might pick up your phone, 5 seconds, check it, put it back down, and
Guilty.
yeah, so we have to find ways and modes in which we could reach the generation to allow teaching to continue. Because if we keep at the traditional way, what will happen is that they're going to find it boring. Yes, we may have had little instances where some people say the Zoom is boring, this is boring, but there are ways to fix that. But not to go too far. That was my motivation. through experience, and I wanting to, elaborate on that technology within Trinidad and Tobago.
That is really amazing. And, I teach online. So the online world is so fantastic, but there's so much to learn, so
It
many
is.
parts to get something working, which I'm so fortunate to be in communication with you all to bring ideas to life as well. And doesn't matter where you are anymore because you can learn from the beach, you can learn, while you're waiting at the airport,
Anywhere, anywhere.
anywhere. So for you, having this be something that can reach a global level is really where my heart is.
Right, right. And we wanted to create, something bespoke in terms of, we wanted to like pioneer not really the technology of e-learning and, online learning, but the products that comes out of that, the byproducts that come out of e-learning. So we have a lot of good authors, we have a lot of excellent writers right here in the Caribbean, right here in Trinidad and Tobago. And if we could start to propel, their work through e-learning methods, even to international markets, we stand a chance in terms of being pioneers within that field. That e-learning came on board heavily in 2020, so Trinidad and Tobago is up there, they're using it, they have authors being published via e-learning portals and those different types of stuff. So that's what we wanted to do.
That is phenomenal. I don't know if you know this, but I got my college degree online many moons ago. So I've
Great.
been in the online world, yeah, and I love it because of the convenience. You can pick up where you left off at any time, go
Yeah,
back and watch something. So it's
yeah.
really interactive in that way where your time is yours to manage.
Yes, and that's what we're about. That's what we're about. That's the way
I
forward.
love that. And I really, really, like I told you before, want to help the authors on the island to get more exposure to their work, to their books, which is why the expo, the book expo that we did last
Yes,
year was so phenomenal because I met people I never thought I would meet who
yes,
have similar interests as mine, even though I'm
yes.
not on the island.
Right. And that was a blessing in disguise in itself. I mean, that was phenomenal, and that's the type of thing, the kind of innovation and the type of expos and resources and you name it that we want to bring together,
Hmm.
and get everybody into, in one bubble. So it's like, what we call here a pilau. We're making
Uh-huh.
a pilau, we put everything in the pot and we bubble and we come up with something.
And a little callaloo on the side.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Yes. And I want to thank you so much for hosting that book expo. It was something that I was looking for to share my genre with other people, and you created the platform for us. And I think we all had the same goal in mind to connect and share and encourage people to follow their dreams, write that book. It doesn't matter how big or how small, do it anyway.
Yeah, and I must say thanks to you as well as the other authors, because it would not have been possible. We had like zero persons at when we started off, and you were the first person to connect with us.
Mhm.
It's not just me. It's also my brother. He's also a director. We have Linda Chetu. We have his my brother's wife, Mrs.
Mhm.
Wilson. So it is a team of us that came together, right? And we decided that okay, let's do this. That seems viable, so let's do it. And persons like yourself, when you reached out to me, you said, "Hey, this is really interesting. I want to learn more. How was it you all planned to take this forward?" And you ran with me, and you said, "Hey, we could do this, and we could reach out to this person." To the fact that we reached out to Nalis and Miss Jasmine, she was on board, and we had like it was great. It was excellent.
Well, that's the other part of it. I never thought I would meet somebody from Nalis. you hear about it, you see it on little bits of news here and there,
Right.
but I never really thought it was real. And then when we finally met Miss Jasmine, she put it out there, everything that it has to offer. So you also gave her that channel to share this information with us.
Yes, definitely. I think information is something that needs to be shared, just like love. You know,
Oh,
it
yes,
it makes no sense holding it in. You need to spread it. You need to spread that information as much as possible, so that it could reach the right persons, because there are persons just like myself, who have good ideas, and they may not know how to get started or have that motivation to get started, or even just the simple information on how to even begin. And
right.
just one little key nugget, a little piece of information could help propel them to, where they need to be.
Definitely like that post you put, so simple, and something gave me a good feeling. We're in the
Yeah.
writers union. So I said, all right, let's give it a try, because it was exactly what I wanted to do, to
Right,
make happen. And that post came in at that same time. It was insane. And it just snowballed from there.
right. Yeah. So that was perfect. That was really,
But
really
guess
perfect.
what?
Tell
Mrs.
me.
Wilson is my next interviewee.
Ooh.
Speaking of which, so that'll be exciting to hear from her perspective working with you, and, even launching her own book. But let me not spoil her just yet.
That's just a little teaser, a little trailer. Let's put that as
Mhm.
a trailer.
Dot, dot, dot. Really cool. So, well, my next question is, what is your inspiration to get going each day and build this platform?
Right. So my inspiration really comes from the fact that, I could help somebody, I could help someone, and what we are doing is actually making a difference. Right. As I told the team, I said, yes, it's a business where we are in for profit, but we are also in for helping, most importantly. So, where we can help, we would help, right? And that part of it helps me wake up every day and realize that, hey, I have a duty and I need to, get at it. I need to keep myself, motivated enough to, continue innovating. So it all forms part of, my inspiration to, take eCardemy and run with it. Truthfully, there are times that we look at it and we're like, it may not be a business that brings in money every time. It works on a project basis, and sometimes those projects could get really complex, or sometimes they could be really simple. But at the end, we must look at it holistically and say, hey, there's an objective here, and the objective is that whatever we do, it must be able to help somebody, or whatever we put out there, the end product must be that, somebody would learn from what we did because of what we did, and that is how we keep inspired every day.
Really nice, really nice. And I think
Yeah,
it's a win-win situation for everybody,
it definitely is.
because you learn as you go. As you're teaching others, you're learning too.
Yes, definitely. I am not in the field of teaching. I was not in the field of books, writing books. And look,
No.
since I've been with you guys, we learning so much about, how you're publishing books, where you all publish books, those different little thing, nitty-gritties. So, it helps us. Yeah, I mean, it's knowledge. So, why not fill up the bank with some knowledge, some good knowledge,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah,
And I always say the money will come as long as you're enjoying what you're doing. And again, you're
definitely.
helping so many people, and now you can expand beyond the islands.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
that's
And
a
one of the
win.
and one of the things too is that what we saw that was happening in Trinidad was that in 2020, and everybody decided to go online, everybody ran to Zoom. Now nothing is wrong with Zoom,
No, no.
but we cannot continue to call it e-learning. It's just a meeting. We're just having a meeting, right? Based upon the distance learning, that is the platform in which you would use. That's the mode of communication in which you would use. But e-learning goes way more than that. So what we saw, and from the feedback we were getting, like some teachers would come on and they would rattle out everything from a PowerPoint presentation. That's fine. But we wanted to allow persons to understand that you need to go a little further in terms to lock in students in their, how to put it, in their world, because you remember they're online, they're on a computer. They could just put you on a tab or put you on a window, shift you to the side, and they're on something else. You
Oh,
must
yes.
be able you must be able to lock them in. And the only way you can lock them in is by interaction. You must be interactive, whether you're using the Zoom or not. You must be interactive. So you must give, while you are teaching, you must be able to give them something to do to respond to you. Because if you don't have, if that does not happen, you lose them eventually. Some people might argue, well, we ask them, if they have any questions. Yeah, that works in a traditional mode of teaching where you're in the classroom. And is there any questions? But you can do that traditional because you're seeing facial expressions. You're there, you're physically there, you could see what's going on. But when you're online and persons don't have on their cameras and you ask, is there any questions? You might just get crickets. You wouldn't
Right.
hear anybody ask you anything. One person might just ask for the sake of, just being trying to be, not so so uptight. You might say, oh yeah, miss this, whatever. But you must have that interaction. So one of the um one of the recommendations is that for every minute of teaching, you take 10 minutes to ask a question, 10 seconds, sorry, to ask a question. So
Hmm.
every minute you say X, Y, and Z. What do you think? Yes, it will take a longer time to probably get through your course content, but that is the I don't want to call it the downfall of e-learning, but
Hmm.
e-learning cannot be rushed
No.
when you're teaching on these platforms. You can't expect like to use a traditional model of I have a curriculum and today's class is going to be about this. With e-learning, because there's so many distractions and it's in a virtual realm, it's going to take its time, right?
Hmm.
How
Hmm.
many persons have you interacted with and they tell you, especially the older folks too, they tell you, I'm not really learning nothing on this, this not really working out for me. I rather be in a classroom. It's simply because the way some of the teachers are teaching, they are teaching in the traditional sense of they have the curriculum, they're teaching this for today, and that's it. That may not work. Even so, if you send them the video after, that may not work because there's nothing to stimulate the brain. There's
Hmm.
nothing to stimulate the mind. And one of the things that we wanted to do was, to show them, hey, switch it up, do some videos, show the videos in your little Zoom, or send them the videos. But over time, I guess we would get it right. We would get it better, but we wanted to be known for the persons that, you can come to us and we could consult and say, well, okay, this is what we saw. This is how we saw you teach. So try switching it up and let's see what's the outcome of that, you know?
Wow, that made so many things come to mind as an online teacher, engaging the students. Yes, if the camera is off, you don't know what they're doing. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I encourage my students to be self motivated. Take that time to teach yourself. It's you that wants to learn. I
Yeah.
know the information. So, as much as I can feed you the information, if you are also not doing the extra work to practice what you're learning in the classroom outside of the classroom, then there's no halfway. So it has to
Yeah.
be both. But I do agree with you when, you don't hear from the student. You on your end as the teacher is like,
Like
what
what's
am I
going on
doing?
here? you know?
Exactly. Absolutely. But online learning, you do need that level of independence where you're taking the initiative to take what you're learning one step further for sure.
Yeah, and definitely it wouldn't come overnight. We
No.
expect that, students adapt to this. This is something that it's new to society in a whole, right? Yourself, myself, our four parents, we would have been, you know, straight from the infancy age, we would have been taught, um, through the traditional means. We go to class, we meet students. This particular time is where we focus on the class. We have a recess, we have a lunch, we go home. With
Hmm.
online learning, it's a little different, even though it might take a traditional form in terms of the same, okay, are wrong. Let's say between 9 and 10, you have this class, that class, whatever the case may be. It's a lot different because you're not there physically, and there are so many distractions. And as you said, these students need to be self-motivated, but that takes some time, especially with a young person. You're dealing
Right.
with young when you have YouTube on the right on the other end of the tab. So I have my teacher here and I have YouTube here. Which one, you might quicker choose YouTube because they're young,
Right.
you know.
Well, hopefully you have your purpose in mind, and at any age, you as the teacher, you have to create the material for that age group, and there's certain
Yeah.
requirements and all that. But what makes eCardemy stand out from the rest of those upcoming online platforms?
Right. So what makes us stand out is the fact that we we are trainers, so we can train persons to train others in instructional designs. So we
Mhm.
look at your courses and we come up with a model that is best suited for you in a way to deliver the content. So not to say like we know exactly or we are professionals in what you do. We just look at the delivery of your content. We also have where you can host the content with us, where you're able to, put questionnaires, you have interactive videos, you can have audio, you can upload your PowerPoints, and all this is safe on our platform. We try to make it, I want to say 100% hack proof, but on the internet, there's no such term. It's just figuratively speaking.
Right.
So, once that happens, in terms of you uploading your stuff, it's safe, and you can keep it there. We also have a nice studio where you can come and record your own videos,
Ooh,
and yeah, any nice basking in the nice ambience, and you're comfortable, and you can update your videos. So that kind of makes us stand out in terms of the other upcoming platforms.
I may have to fly to Trinidad just to have that studio experience.
Definitely, we welcome you anytime.
Awesome. Very nice. Well, I'm very fired up about creating my course with you. So
Right.
stay tuned for that as well. Another spoiler. Yes. So, what is your message to our viewers?
My message, or let me speak on behalf of eCardemy, our message to your viewers as well as maybe our viewers as well, is that, make it fun. Try to understand that this is the way forward in terms of learning. Yes, we would return to the classrooms. Some have already returned to the classrooms, but this is the future. Embrace it, understand it, have a little patience, aptitude, be self-motivated. If you're not so inclined to learning online, there are means and methods that you can find to, make yourself um, inclined to learn online, right? And to the teachers that may be listening, and the instructors and whatnot, make your classrooms interactive, right? Don't just upload PDFs and PowerPoints and stuff like that and expect somebody to learn. Everybody have a different learning curve, but one thing should be your basis is that it's interactive, is that, there are things that is happening. Whether you use the Zoom, the Microsoft Teams, even Skype, there are things that you can do to make it interactive. Don't forget about icebreakers and stuff. All those apply to e-learning. Everything you do in a normal classroom could be done in a online classroom.
Oh, well, let's talk about an online raffle.
Yeah. You
Ooh.
see, look how nice that is.
Yes.
Right? Look how nice that is. So
Very
yeah.
nice message. I really appreciate your time and joining us to share about eCardemy. I will link the website below. So
Thank
you
you.
all reach out to Mr. Dominic Wilson and his team to put together your online course or to take a course and learn something new. Very nice.
Definitely. Definitely. And we welcome you guys. Thanks, Priscilla, for having us. I mean, this has been awesome. You have always been a great support to Academy. So yeah.
Thank you too. So I'll see you for our next interview.
All right, no problem. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye bye, everyone. Have a successful 2022.